Design thinking is a flexible framework for getting the most out of the creative process. It is used in the arts, in engineering, in the corporate world, and in social and civic spaces. You can use it in every subject with every age group. It works when creating digital content or when building things with duct tape and cardboard. Although there are many models for design thinking, we have developed the student-friendly launch cycle. Here's how it works. In the first phase, students look, listen, and learn. The goal here is awareness. It might be a sense of wonder at a process, or an awareness of a problem, or a sense of empathy toward a group. Sparked by curiosity, students move to the second phase, where they ask tons of questions. This leads to understanding the process or problem through an authentic research experience. They might conduct interviews or needs assessments, research articles, watch videos, or analyze data. Students apply the newly acquired knowledge to potential solutions. In this phase, they navigate ideas. Here they not only brainstorm, but they also analyze ideas, combine ideas, and generate a concept for what they will create. In the next phase, they create a prototype. It might be a digital work or a tangible product, a work of art, or something they engineer. It might even be an action or an event or a system. Next, they begin to highlight what's working and fix what's failing. The goal here is to view this revision process as an experiment full of iterations, where every mistake takes them closer and closer to success. Then, when it's done, it's ready to launch. In the launch phase, they send it to an authentic audience. They send their work to the world. And ultimately, that leads back to a place where they can look, listen, and learn.
I've worked with hundreds of teachers across the country to actually get their students' work shared with the world. And we use that design thinking process because it starts with the students really choosing, looking, listening of what they're interested in. So one of those projects was called 2030 Schools. If you go to 2030schools.com. So 2030schools.com is basically a global project that anybody can participate in at any time. You can do it right now. What it does is it gives students the chance to choose from one of the 17 global goals. And from choosing those, they get to create an awareness campaign that says, you know what? Students in my school, students in my community, my parents, they don't know about affordable and clean energy. And then they create an actual video, a PSA around that.
I got you.
Going.
Well,
here's somebody talking. Let's see if we. All right, I think we're good again. Google Hangouts. How many of you have done mystery Skypes or Google mystery location calls with Google Hangouts? This is a wonderful way. Our third graders and fifth graders and seventh graders do mystery Skype and connect with experts and peers from around the world, students from other classrooms. We just had a class yesterday connect with a class in Ireland, and they were third graders, and they had to ask 20 questions to actually find out where they're from, and talk to them about, again, what they actually knew about their country, getting down to the latitude and longitude and exactly the city. Another great way to connect. We've all kind of seen that SAMR model as well. And the thing that I want to talk about is when we're using technology, what we have is a chance to create videos, to create online writing with blogs, to create podcasts, to create online images that using Twitter and social media and Facebook, you can share it with not just teachers at your school, parents at your school, but with everybody in the world. You can kind of go up those different levels, which is really important. And so I hear SAMR all the time. If you're not familiar with it, I'm going to have you look for a video in just a second. But when we talk about modifying and redefining the task, if the end goal is for a student to create something and only share that with one or two people, a friend, or only give that to a teacher, we're missing we're missing the biggest piece that we have right now as educators, which is for our students to not only learn from anyone around the world, collaborate with anybody around the world, but to actually share their work with an authentic audience. And so when they do that and they actually share it, a video, whatever it is, they get authentic feedback as well, which I'm sure you're going to have some questions about. Final challenge is find the link to John Spencer's SAMR video and share it in the chat, because I think it's the best SAMR video out there explaining what the process is. John Spencer's SAMR video, S-A-M-R, and share it in the chat. So what happens when our students share their stories with technology? What happens when we actually let our students publish real work? Well, engagement skyrockets, because they know this isn't going on a refrigerator. This isn't just going to my teacher. This is going to my peers, to people out in the world who are going to look at what I created with an eye to actually see, is it worth anything? Does it have meaning and value? So there's a video that I don't know if we have time for. I'll put a link in here, Our Story in 2 Minutes, and you can kind of just YouTube this as well. But a teacher gave an assignment of telling the history of the world in 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, the history of the world. Well, this student created this video, Our Story in 2 Minutes. It is powerful. Go watch it, share it with your students. Millions of views on YouTube. The student got offered jobs, all kinds of requests for creating videos just because they shared the work with the world. So the third truth that we'll talk about is that stories always shape us. They always help us learn, and technology transforms those stories. So we've always had students tell stories in the classroom, but we haven't had them launch it to the world. George Couros, who's a great educator, he's on Twitter at @GCouros. He has a quote that says, "You don't have to wait until you're out of school to change the world. Go lead today." And so you'll see from some of the resources that we give you here today, there's all kinds of projects, all kinds of opportunities with Genius Hour, 20% time, global projects, things that you can create in your own classroom that can share with the world what your students are doing and launch it out there.